You know, if I was a boy, this hairstyle would be acceptable because I kind of like Timothy Chalamet, my haircut, the way my hair is shaped. But because I'm a girl, this is unacceptable. And that's just the fact of life. It's not okay for for a girl to have her hair cut like this, but this is just the shape of my hair when I wake up. So there you go. So this morning I didn't have work and I didn't want to get out of bed, so I decided to watch a movie before I got up, before I ate breakfast, before I did anything. I didn't do anything. And I decided to watch this short film on Netflix on my tablet called The Garden of Words. It's a 45-minute short film. After watching it, I really wish it was longer. I wish it was in a series. It was really, really good. It's directed by Makoto Shinkai, and it came out in 2013, and I'm just now seeing it, and I'm, as usual, upset about that. But I never know where to find anime, so it was really good. I don't know what I would rate it yet, but I really enjoyed it. And like most anime, as soon as I finished watching it, I wanted to watch it again. I wanted to rewatch it because it was really good. It was really beautiful. I wanted to say that it aroused a lot of questions in me that I'm going to be thinking about for in the future, in time to come. And also, because I really like anime and I like the stories, the poems, like the poetry that comes along with it, and find them inspirational, along with the animation, the color, and the way everything looks like a painting, the way light hits things. And I'm going to try and watch as much as possible this year and less of live action, because I'm noticing that every year I'm watching less and less anime. And they're out there. I just gotta know where to look. So I'm glad Netflix recommended it to me. Most likely recommended it to me because I've been watching a couple of anime on Netflix. Like I watched A Silent Voice last year, and I was watching, I told you guys Carol and Tuesday, so that's probably why I recommended it to me. It's just it came out so long ago, and I know they come out with a lot every year. Yeah, I'm glad I watched this morning. It's nice. It was a nice way to kick off my day, my morning. Now I'm very relaxed, and I actually want to get out of bed and do something, because our lead character in the show, in the film, he skips school to sketch because he has dreams of becoming a cobbler, which is a shoemaker. He doesn't really have that great of a home life. His mom, she drinks all the time, and she has her boyfriends, and his brother's older and moves out and stuff, and he just likes to cook and draw, and he likes when it rains. Whenever it rains, he goes to the garden to sketch, and he meets a woman there who happens to also enjoy alienation, which obviously I resonated with because I alienate myself. And that's something that I want to stop doing in 2020, but I don't know, I guess it's just part of my personality, where I want to be around people and then I don't want to be around people. Garden of Words, really, really good. 45 minutes short on Netflix right now. Yeah. Now I'm going to start my day. Good morning, New York City. Well, as you can probably hear, I just finished watching Knives Out, and what did I think of it? I thought it was great. It was really good. It was funny. It was suspenseful. It was surprising. I was kind of right. This is a spoiler in case you don't. I was kind of right with what I said yesterday in my Golden Globes video, that people kept talking about Ana de Armas kept talking about her performance and how great she was, probably because she's the one who did it. And I don't think people would realize that when they kept talking about her, they were kind of telling the audience that she's the one who did it. Like, why are you emphasizing how great she was? But turns out, once again, spoilers, if you haven't seen it, that she did it is revealed early on in the film, because she's not actually the person who really did it. But yeah, I really liked it. I really liked it. I don't know why I'm rating it yet though, because I just watched it. But it was good. I would definitely watch it again. That's for damn sure. I loved how no one could figure out Marta's ethnicity. One minute someone's saying she's from like Paraguay, and then someone says she's from Venezuela, and then Chris Evans said that she was Brazilian. It's like no one knows what she is, and they clearly don't care to know. Could easily just ask her, but everyone just assumes that she's some type of South American, and just picking out different South American countries to describe her and just say that she's from there, and she's not even from there. I just thought that was funny. So I just finished watching Power, the episode, Still Dre episode that came back last night. And for once, since I want to say the last season, they produced an episode that wasn't laughable. Yes, I did laugh at it at moments, but laughed at it in terms of it was actually funny and it wasn't ridiculous. I actually really enjoyed this episode. I actually felt for Dre in moments when they showed him and his mother, his relationship with his mother, when they showed his daughter and how much he loves her. I always knew he loved her, and how he's never gonna see her again. She's never gonna see him again. It ended pretty sad. We have our two characters that are Tommy's henchmen. They were caught by the police, and one of them snitched and one of them didn't. They both collectively killed Dre together in prison, but one of them got out because he snitched. And I'm thinking obviously that Tommy is going to kill him. At the moment it's kind of up in the air. We're not really going to see anything from him, I don't think, because it looks like the episodes are focused on one character at a time. This episode was Dre. The next episode will be Paz, which is Andrea's sister. These glasses make me look so dorky. Yeah, it was a really, really well done episode, well produced, well written, well directed too. They filled in some spots of Dre's story that were missing from the last episode, where we saw Dre and his day, but we didn't see the in-betweens and how he got from point A to point B, and we saw that in this episode. Basically just showing him, I believe all of this takes place in like 2-3 days, this whole episode, but the majority of it takes place in one day. It starts with him and his daughter, and then he goes to get money, deal drugs, and then they get raided by the Serbian crew because they think that Dre killed their boss. Then there's a shootout there, and he gets shot. He goes back home, and his girl is like, we gotta leave. He goes to Tasha to get money from her, to try to blackmail her, extort money from her, saying he'll snitch to the police about Tariq. Then he goes to Tariq to get money, and then Tariq wants a piece, so he goes to Ghost to get money from Ghost, and then he sets up something with Ghost, and Ghost sets him up to get locked up. And when he's locked up, of course, he snitches to get out. It's very good in the way they paste blotches of scenes that we've seen before and try to make a coherent story for Dre. And it was actually done really well. And I am pleasantly surprised. And I did not expect at all for them to actually make a well-produced episode. And I'm actually looking forward to the remaining 4 episodes that will wrap up the series. Not just the season, this series, because it is ending after this. Based on how good this episode was and how much I was entertained by it. But going forward, as I said, Dre just kept going from person to person to try to get money. And eventually he ends up going to his mother because his girl is like, you tried all of your other resources. This is your last resort. And we learn from his mother that they don't have the strongest relationship. He never told her that he was out of jail and that he had a kid, and he only comes to her when he needs, money, when he can't get it from his other businesses. She says no, so he breaks into her house eventually because, it's really just his last resort. And there's a very, very heartfelt scene, and it really touched me, where he breaks into his mother's house and tries to steal jewelry from her, and she pulls a gun on him, and basically we understand why they have this terrible turmoil in their relationship, and it's because he was just always bad, and she's very Christian, and when he was a little kid, he did one bad thing, and she just put that poison on him and put that mindset on him that he's never good. And he's basically saying to her, you keep telling me that my whole life. Like, what did you expect was going to happen? Here, we have a really great character study of Andre in this episode. And I have to keep saying it again. I'm pleasantly surprised because I did not think that Power was going to come back and give me any quality, because the last 10 episodes were so goddamn laughable and didn't make any goddamn sense. This episode really, really did. Moving along with what happened in the episode, he just kept making false turns, and it kind of reminded me of Uncut Gems, where he kept making bad decisions, and every time he got out of his hole, he would go back, and then got out of his hole again, and he would go back. He was locked up twice in this episode in a span of like 2-3 days, where he just kept fucking up. He would go in for something that he didn't do. The first time he went in because he was framed for killing Jason, which wasn't his fault. Ghost actually set him up. And then he got out from snitching, and then he was put back in jail once again for something he didn't do, because he was caught at the nightclub right after Ghost was killed, and he didn't kill him, and he punched a cop. Now, I don't even know if they locked him up the second time because of that, or if they locked him up because he ran away from the cops when he was supposed to be in witness protection. So it could be one of these, it could be both of them. But it isn't brought up what the charges were the second time they arrested him. So I don't know. But either way, he had a chance to go to Vegas with his girl. He got money from Tate. He got new license plate, new identity, and he did the whole switcheroo like in the movie Heat. And I feel like they got inspiration from that, where De Niro was free to go to the airport with his girl, and he was free from the cops and all of that, but it was just set on his mind that he had to go back and kill that one snitch guy. He ended up dying because he just wouldn't leave well enough alone, and that's exactly what happened in this episode. Dre was just set in his mind. He was like, I want to kill Ghost. I went through all of this trouble because of this man. Getting to kill him, I'm getting paid for it. Like, Tate gave him 50 bands, and then he was going to give him another 50 for after killing him. And he was like, I'm going to go back and do this. And then if he hadn't done that, he would have been scot-free. But because he went and did that, he got locked up again. And I think he thought he was in the clear because he heard the gunshot, left the nightclub, and then went back in his car and drove to a convenience store where he heard on the news at the convenience store that Ghost was killed. But then he got arrested right in front of his daughter and his girl. So, didn't work out. Then he's in prison again, and he gets burnt alive. And it was just really, really crazy that it reminded me of both Heat and Uncut Gems, where you're scot-free and you dig yourself out of a hole, and I don't want to say you did everything right, but you did everything to get you out, and then you still made that one wrong thing, and then you got killed. So either they're definitely pulling from Heat, but it reminded me of Uncut Gems as well. That was a very good episode. Keep up the good work, Power executive, directors, producers, writers, everybody, for the next 4. Please don't make it crap. Good job. One other thing that I forgot to say, what I found so funny in the episode was when Dre was driving away and he saw Tommy, and then the bus ran by and then Tommy disappeared. Like, this is a fucking horror film. That shit was funny. Andre's face was... I like the soundtrack that they used in this episode too. I like the song that they was playing. Dre was breaking into his mother's house. I don't know the name of that song, but I like that song. It's the first time I'm hearing it. And I like that they played that Jaden Smith song that I like. I remember what the other thing is that I wanted to say. I thought it was interesting that when Dre was at his mother's house, he said, "My daughter's name is Heaven, a place that neither of us will ever be or ever go." And it was interesting that he said that because of the way he died, he burnt up, and it's kind of like he went to hell. The arc of that, or like the parallels of him saying that and then him getting burnt alive, I thought that was interesting. I'm done now, for real, talking about this episode.